My name is Chito. Welcome to the Enlightened Citizen. I think today we are going to continue speaking about practical issues which are not really scripted, but the day-to-day issues that we face, and yet for some reason we don't speak about them. The Enlightened Citizen is really about Zambia, because I'm a Zambian, but it extends beyond that. It also speaks about the African, both in Africa and those who have settled outside of Africa, like in Haiti, because we seem to have the same kinds of problems, and we seem to have the same kinds of challenges, and there's a consistency in that. And as long as we do not face the problems head on, I think that the African, wherever they are, faces a very, very dark future. Now, today I'm going to talk about a topic that for a long time I never really thought was very important, but now I've seen that everything starts and ends with leadership. Now, what is the qualification for leadership, especially in Africa? How do Africans pick their leaders? So when I am talking about leaders, maybe let's restrict it to political leaders. How do Africans pick their political leaders? Now, some of the qualifications, like in Zambia, I've heard when people are looking at someone and they're trying to assess whether this person can lead a country. Some of the qualifications, if I know this person is humble, or this person is poor. Now, then I wonder, so what has poverty and being humble got to do with leadership, with running a country? So why is it that Africans don't have a benchmark? Why is it that Africans, or Zambians in particular, find it difficult to have a qualification for a leader? Because assuming that you want to start even just a clerical job in government, there's at least minimum qualifications that are needed. Maybe you need a grade 12, maybe you need 5 passes, whatever. There's a qualification. And once you start that job, there's also what is known as a job description. You're told what you are needed to do. But for a president, somehow, anyone can be president. There's no minimum qualification. And the things that people seem to think is important have got nothing to do with the office of president and how that you can be efficient and effective in that office. Now, if a person wants to lead a country, I think the first thing is that this person must have a pedigree. This person must have a background. You should be able to say, my name is Joe Black. This is what I've done in my past. I've run a business. I've run this, I've done this, and now I feel like I need to give back because I think that this country has been good to me. Now, I need to give back. So, and this is what I can do for your country. But that's not what we see. People just come with ideas. People come with a background. And most of them, before they came into politics, they really had nothing. They didn't have a career. They didn't have a business. They had nothing. But now, all of a sudden, they become big businessmen. And everyone just seems to think that that's okay. That a person without a background can come and take over a country. And he's really just interested in his personal enhancement. And the Zambians especially, they don't question that. They seem to admire that person. You find a politician who had no discernible business, he had no discernible acumen. He really had nothing before he became a politician. And all of a sudden, this person becomes a big businessman and becomes an expert. And instead of the citizens saying, but you, what has changed? Where have you gotten these things? If it's wealth, if it's whatever. The people seem to then admire that person. And even when you question them and say, but, this person, who is he? Where was he before? Why has he changed like this? Half the time the answer you get is that if you were in his shoes, wouldn't you do the same? And people then aspire for political office, not because they want to change the country, not because they want to save the country, but because they want to steal or they want to enrich themselves. So political office has become like a vehicle for people for personal enhancement. Now, if you look at the history of the political system that we are following now, you cannot develop a country with people who have selfish interests. And I think Africans must wake up. Political office is not for you to go and enrich yourself or for you to go and improve your personal circumstances. Those are things that you do on your own. But in Africa, it's very common, in Zambia, it's very common. You find a person who was just really at the point of destitution. He had nothing. And for some reason, he manages to convince people and they vote for him and he becomes this big person. And people seem to then become attracted to this person and they seem to think, and then this person also forgets that we know who he is, where he comes from. And then he gets a sense of entitlement and he feels like he's always been the leader. And for some reason, the people, they tend to then forget what is important. Now, how did we end up like that as a people? How do you allow a situation like that? Developing a country is not rocket science. Developing a country is very basic. So the people at least must have benchmarks when you're looking for a leader. Like right now in Zambia, what are the kinds of problems that we have? The biggest problem I think in Zambia that we have right now is Zambia is debt distressed and is headed towards bankruptcy. 1. 2, there's rampant corruption in Zambia right now. You can say what you want, but that's the truth. 3, inflation. 4, youth unemployment. Now, these are just some of the problems. So if you're looking for a leader, what is it that you look for? Looking for a leader is not restricting it to those who are running the government right now and those who are in the main opposition party. No, that is not how you look for a leader. What we need to do as Zambians, we need to say, okay, where we are now, what are the main problems that we have? Like I have said, the country is debt distressed on the verge of bankruptcy. There's rampant youth unemployment. There is corruption. So these are the problems. So you say, okay, these kinds of problems that we have, what kind of solutions do we need? So we will list the solutions, okay? What are the solutions? We need education to be the basis for social mobility, not colorism or whatever it is, but we need education. What else do we need? We need to create a meritocracy. What does that mean? It means that the best brains and the best minds must run the country, must run the system. What else do we need? We need a leader who has a discernible background, who has succeeded in whatever he was doing. So you list the problems, then you list the solutions. Then next you say, so we know what the problems are, we know what the solutions are. Then the next thing we say, what kind of leader then do we need? Oh yes, so we need a leader who maybe has been successful in his professional life or in his business life, and we need a leader who we know is honest, is not corrupt, at least he has a background. We need a leader who we know that at least he was running a business that was even paying taxes, that you can follow. Than people they've never run anything, but all of a sudden they run the country and they run the resources in the country. And once you say that, then you say, amongst the Zambians, do we have people like this? Then you can identify the leaders that you need as a country to run your country. But right now, there's even no process. What you find is, no, this one is nice, this one is humble, no, this one is poor. Now, the things that are considered, the qualities that are considered for leadership in this country have got nothing to do with a successful leader. So, as long as Zambians and Africans continue looking at personalities and looking at personal interests, looking at what they'll get out of it, we should forget about development. And that's what enlightenment does. So as the enlightened citizen, you'll be able to question, to say, what kind of problems do we have? What are the solutions? What kind of person can sort out these kinds of problems? Do we have this kind of person? Then you move like that. So that if you identify a leader, then you can even approach a person and say, look, we think that you are the one who can help us. Because, look, these are the problems, these are the solutions, this is the kind of person that you need, this is your experience, we think that you should consider running. Then, at least there will be a chance for the best people in the country to run the country. But as long as we continue on the trajectory that we are on right now, where leadership is about personalities, this one and that one, and people are busy insulting each other, and people are busy branding cars, things that have really got nothing to do with leadership, we should forget about development, and Africa should just continue on a trajectory of self-destruction. Now, the good news is that at least there are a few of us who have realized that there's a problem and we have solutions. So we encourage you once again to join us on the Enlightened Citizen so we can share ideas and so we can move Africa from where it is to where we would want it to be. You can join us also. We are on Facebook right now. We are also on YouTube. We are on Twitter, and we are on Instagram. And we encourage you to like, share, and tag any person that you feel would benefit from this information and would contribute to this information. Once again, my name is Captain Chito, I'm the Enlightened Citizen. Until next time, thank you very much.